Hello, everyone, and welcome to our 5 questions series. We have today Lili Xu. She is not just a very prolific member of our academic community, but also she's been involved with the HPCC Systems community and project for a long time. She is currently in her finishing stages of her Ph.D. in computer science in Clemson University, and has, as I said before, been involved with HPCC in a number of areas, including machine learning, natural language processing, and certainly distributed computing and high-performance computing. She has the peculiarity that she is one of our few recurrent students in our internship program. She's been doing internships with us for 3 periods, so she's been interning with us 3 times. And it seems that it must have been successful because she came for more every time. So it is a pleasure to have Lili today, and thank you very much, Lili, for doing this series with us. And I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure, please. Thank you for having me today.
So, Lili, let's get started from the beginning. Why did you decide to pursue a career in computer science?
Well, so it's all starting back to when I was starting working in a bank. We had an integration project, and that's about big data problem. But I realized the field that I'm working with is really lacking for big data technologies, and I really wanted to learn how to make it more efficient and time-saving, and also like to make more automated. So I decided to go back to school to learn computer science, especially in big data technology. Then I really liked it, so furthermore, I learned my Ph.D. in computer science too. I dig more into the field of machine learning and high-performance computing. I realized that is really what I want to do, and this is what I really interested was. So I keep doing it and learning computer science, and I found the field is progressing pretty good, and relatively the machine learning and AI, distributed computing, they're all in the kind of infancy stage. So I think it's really a good timing to start in the field and trying to make a difference. So that's why I still stay learning computer science and decide to pursue a career in this field too.
That's very good, and you definitely selected fields that are highly developing in a very high speed and changing and rapidly generating new and new technologies and capabilities. So it is interesting that you decided to go into these fields, which are also very challenging, because again they are in a big state of influx. So do you really like the challenge of learning new things all the time and challenging yourself to change your ways of thinking about technology and things almost every day?
Yeah.
Very good, very good. So, Lili, you back to the internships thing. You completed 3 internships with in the HPCC Systems community, and you seem to have liked every one of those. You could see that you really enjoy what you are doing. So, tell me a little bit more. Why did you decide in the first place to get involved, and then why did you decide to come back?
Yeah, of course. I have been interning here for like 3 years straight. There are so many factors that I really liked it and attract me coming back again and again. But I really want to focus 2 points. The first one is it's a fun thing to learn and to study here and doing all the projects with all kinds of awesome people here. And one of the big thing is that I get to do is choose my own projects. To choose my own projects means I have the ability to decide what I want to do in my projects. So I'm doing my research for machine learning and high performance computing, so I can design the projects I really want to do, and super fitting for my PhD program too. So that means I save my time and do the thing I really want to do.
Oh, that's a very good point. I think. Sorry. Yeah, that's a very good point. I can see that flexibility really gives you the benefit to leverage the program in at least two different ways, right? For your learning and your development in the community, but also to continue to push your Ph.D. program forward as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm doing the projects I want to do, so I really enjoy that. Every day I came to do the projects I want to do and I designed, and I can possibly publish my results as my PhD program too. So I really thinking every minute I spend on the projects is something that can help me better understanding my field, machine learning and high performance computing, and also helps me to pushing forward my PhD program. So it's really one bird, two stone thing for me.
Yes, I can see.
Yes.
Oh, that's very good. That's a very good answer. I didn't think of that, but you're absolutely right. Yeah, it's the flexibility and the ability to leverage it in different ways that makes it really a good fit for you. Yeah. So now that you have been involved with HPCC, with the HPCC Systems platform for a long time, for several years, how do you compare the capabilities that it has, at least in the fields that you have used it for, with other platforms that are out there, particularly open source platforms? You've been exposed to different platforms as well, I know. And how would you say that HPCC Systems compares in the areas that you have used it for with these other platforms?
Oh yeah, I really know the difference because I'm working in this field and doing research on it. I actually tried different platforms and they are all open source. And I realized one thing is that sometimes most people who are willing to learn big data, they're scared because all the complexity of installing all the components and make the platform up and running. And sometimes people just maybe give it up because of the complexity to make the thing work. So instead of installing all kinds of tons of different components and the systems and learning different languages in HPCC systems, there's only two things I need to do to starting my big data journey. One thing is to install one package that is HPCC Systems package. And the other thing I need to do is coding in one language, ECL. So that's only two things I need to do really in HPCC Systems environment. That's simple. That really makes my life easier. And when you're starting to really hands-on in coding in ECL, you kind of feel like working with HPCC system is more intuitive to work with. So you can learn how the data is distributed by really one function. And ECL is designed to be a parallel language. So it means it just implicitly paralleled. So you don't have to spend time to worrying about how the data goes and how the parallel goes, how to optimize the process. And it's a very efficient language. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is very interesting. It is very interesting that someone that has fluency in a number of programming languages, Python, for example, has that point of view on ECL. Sometimes I've seen people saying that ECL was challenging because it challenged them to think in a slightly different way. But you have seen a number of really positive sides of ECL.
Yes, and I really program in ECL every day, and I enjoyed it because I coding in one line in ECL. That means I hundreds of lines in other languages. And as a programmer, why not just programming in ECL? So it saved me tons of time and really make me save my time to do the research I want to do instead of just coding and make the system working. Yeah, so for me, it's efficient and intuitive. That's why I think HPCC system is really outstanding from all other open source platforms.
So now that since you were talking about ECL, and maybe the answer will be ECL, but perhaps it's not. So what would you say that was the most important thing that you learned during all the time you spent with HPCC? Surely you might say ECL, and that's okay. But is there anything else that you could say that is that was also key as a learning experience?
Yes, I think the most important thing, there are so many ways to say, like, technology-wise, I learned HPCC systems and ECL language, but more abstractly, I think for me is, sometimes for me, I'm more come from school, and there's a big difference when you're putting the theories into practical experiments. So put the actual experiments and see how the theory works. It's really different from just learning theory in school. So the big thing of this field in machine learning is to know what's the actual results when you're running the model in real data. That's really a fun thing to do too. So anytime I came to our intern program and I stay in our school, I stay in the office and work collaborating with different people and discussing the results of machine learning model and the performance of our system, how it responds to the machine learning model. That's really interesting. And when I learning from the real world problem and I go back to school, I go with a different perspective. And that really helped me to learn more machine learning and high performance computing with more perspectives, and make my next time turn back to working on a real world problem with more experience, and can apply my theory more practically instead of like pure theory.
I see. Yeah, that's a very good point. So, Lili, so you've been a computer scientist and a technologist for a long time now. So, what would you say that the HPC Systems, the involvement of the HPC Systems community and projects and internships has helped you transform yourself as a technologist? How do you see yourself if you were to see yourself a few years back and today? What would you say that is the biggest change that you've seen in yourself as a result of getting involved with HPCC?
Well, I think for this question, I really give the credit to the people I work with. Yeah, I truly believe in our company, in our organization. We have a lot of smart people here, and we have a lot of people who have the best knowledge in their field. So whenever I came back to here to do my internship, I have any questions, or I want to just broaden my knowledge base, I can go to ask the people who know the field really good, or they are the best. And I got to work with the people who are domain experts, and they're working with the problem every day. So I believe for this question, I really give the credit to people I work with. And as you too, like you are the experts for all the machine learning things. And I remember you helped me one time to solve the decision tree problem. So I think all this into like intelligent people who are I collaborating with, or I asking questions, and they are really playing the most important factor to transform myself to a technologist like them. So I think for this question, the answer is the people who I work with.
Thank you for the kind words, and that is a great answer. I really like it. And you know what? I've been involved with HPCC and with the community and with LexisNexis for a long time, and I have exactly the same way of thinking. I feel like our people is what makes a difference. Yeah, absolutely. I do agree.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot the same way. Yeah. So Lili, thank you very much for helping us with this, and thank you for allowing us to interview you for this series. It's been a great pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.